This is the first in a series of videos for the free LifeApe Scene Builder. Scene Builder enables you to quickly build both simple and advanced animatronics applications. It has a similar look and feel used on many common video editing tools that you are likely familiar with. This video will show you Scene Builder used in conjunction with the Extreme Life controller. So let's jump in. First open Scene Builder, we see two tabs. The first tab is the Scene tab that we'll discuss later. The second tab is the Timeline tab. Timelines are used in Scene Builder to describe the events or actions of your animation. To the left of the timeline are all the outputs available on the Extreme Life controller. We have audio tracks, 6 digital outputs, 2 relays, and we can control 3 RC servo motors. We'll cover RC servo motors in another video. We're going to use Scene Builder and the Extreme Life controller to perform a simple demonstration. We've connected a few LED strips to digital output 1, digital output 2, and relay 1. The first thing I'll do is rename the timeline to something meaningful. I'll assume this will be the ambient timeline for a prop, and I'll call it ambient. Now, we'll add the outputs to the timeline and then program the animation. First, I'll drag output 1 onto the timeline. And as you can see, a dialog appears for us to name the output. I'll go ahead and name it Light 1. I can change it later if I choose. This time, I'll double-click on digital output 2 to select it. And I'll call this output Light 2. Lastly, I'll drag relay 1 over and I'll call it Light 3. Before I start recording animation, let's change the timeline duration. Currently, the timeline duration is set for 10 seconds as shown by the duration marker here. By dragging the duration marker, I can quickly increase or decrease the length of the timeline. I'll just go ahead and leave it at 10 seconds for our demonstration. Now that we've seen how to set the timeline duration, let's look at how to zoom. So to zoom in and out of the timeline, there are two methods. One, you can use the scroll button on your mouse and simply move it forward and backwards to zoom in and out. The other method is to click on the Zoom tab found here. Currently, I'm zoomed in to the max. Now, here's how we record animation. Each of these blocks is called a time slice. To turn an output on or off, I simply click on or I click off of the time slice, and that controls the behavior of each of those outputs. I can also left click and hold the button down and drag to click on multiple time slices. Time slices can be as short as 50 milliseconds. So in this timeline, digital output 1 would be on for 50 milliseconds and off for the remainder of the timeline. As I zoom back out, the time slices get much longer. Now, each of the time slices represents 500 milliseconds. So as I click on the time slices for the relay, which is Light 3, you can see I'm turning them on at 500 millisecond slices. So that would represent 1 second of on time for relay 1. I'll click on a series of time slices for the digital outputs and the relay to finish the demonstration, just making a simple little pattern. Now let's see our recorded animation in action. At the top of the menu, we have a play button and a stop button. Clicking on the play button will download the application to the Extreme Life controller and begin playing back the animation in real time. This provides you a very easy way to test and experiment with your application. So let's give it a try. The application takes about 1 minute to download to the controller, but we're going to skip through some of that. What you'll see when the timeline starts to play is that the timeline marker begins to move, and you can see the LED strips turning on and off in synchronization with the timeline marker. And that's the end of the first video in the Scene Builder series. The next video will cover creating a scene with multiple timelines. Thanks for watching.